You got a nice outfit on today. What would you have an interview somewhere?
Asking for a promotion?
Well, I mean, if you're going to fucking bring it up right away, if you want to, you want to?
I mean, we just did.
Okay. Well, so it was a nice event this weekend, right? I just missed the music. I apologize for that, Jesse. I said that in person.
You missed the music and the movie.
Movie I knew I was going to miss.
Which you were part of writing.
Movie I knew I was going to miss. I had a date with my son.
Got it.
Okay.
A date? I thought you had a soccer thing.
I did. I'm calling it a date. I'm
I'm being professional.
I'm being professional. So I get to the show, and I feel bad. I feel really bad that I missed the music, and I was hoping that you were going to go on again. And someone's significant other came out from nowhere and pretty much insulted me for about an hour and a half.
Oh, that's right. You told me about this.
Hour and a half.
And said you were going to wait to talk about it until we got to the show.
Yeah. There was no reason to bring it up that night.
He's like, fucking John's wife fucking destroyed me.
John's
but I'm not
wife
going to
destroyed me
I'm not going to tell you about it
from the
Tuesday.
moment she laid eyes on me.
Okay.
Destroyed me.
Interesting. Let's hear why.
So she came up to me. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay. She came up to me with her camera in hand, and she said, "Oh, Kurt, are you okay? Like, you really, really don't look good." And I said, in my head, now I took 2 tokes on my way here because I'm finally free at night after all day hanging out with my kids and
After my appointment with my son.
and coaching 6 fucking soccer games all day on my feet.
Okay.
So I, in my head, go, like, I laughed right away. I was like, oh, like, because I put myself down a lot. And I was like, she must be watching the show that I put myself down, and she's just giving me a little tiny dig. No, this was serious. She blatantly told me I look run down, horrible. I don't know what you're doing with yourself. Worried about you, which I'm not really sure. And it was embarrassing.
It was motivating?
No, it wasn't motivating.
I mean,
Got
you're wearing a
his
fucking
little clothes.
I'm joking with this.
I don't think you are.
I don't think, I ate completely healthy today, Jesse, and turned my life around. No, but it was remarkable. Every time she took a picture, she laughed at the picture right away.
About how bad you look?
About how horrible I looked. Not bad. Bad's not the word.
Horrible.
How did you
was the
feel you
word.
looked?
How did I feel I looked?
Yeah.
Like
how'd you
my
look?
regular self.
Yeah, well, how's that? Like, what's your
Comfortable.
date? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, my
So
take.
it sounds like you agree that I look like shit.
But my take on you with
Wow.
this specific
right.
topic is that, like, you've kind of given up.
Wow. Okay.
Like, you don't, I mean, because you can't sit here and say, like, you don't put any, like, I feel like you've turned this part of your brain off. Like, you don't put any effort into, like, your personal, like, everything from fucking exercising to fucking the way you dress. Like, I don't think you care.
Okay.
But you think that's not true?
No, I don't think that's true at all.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think that's true at all. I think I have much different working conditions that most people think, and I'm coming directly from another job
That's
where I work in fucking 2-degree weather.
yeah, but this was a Saturday night,
It was a Saturday night after I was fucking working all day.
and I wasn't really paying attention.
Working what?
I was at a game. You wear fucking game gear. What am I going to wear? A college shirt? I'm not coaching a fucking college
at
team.
the end of the day, you look great today. So I mean, maybe this
I
was
don't care.
maybe
you guys,
this was
you guys are
supposed-
all awful. You guys are all awful people.
I didn't say it.
me neither.
For her to say it means that it has been said.
No.
Sure.
I mean, maybe he said it to her. I didn't.
I've seen her 6 times in my life. You're going to come up to me and you're going to say, be that blunt? That's pretty fucking blunt.
Maybe she watches the show a lot.
No, she doesn't.
Maybe he told her to say it to you.
That's what I'm getting at.
I would never say that, first of all, and we had quite the argument on the way home about
No,
this.
you
because of
shouldn't
that?
have had an
Yeah.
argument.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
You didn't have an argument.
Yes, we did.
Did you really?
Yeah. I stood up for your honor.
Yeah, but if you believe it, you should have just took a side. And said, "Yeah, that fucking guy looks like shit."
Well, no. I mean, let's call a fucking spade a spade.
It was a lot about the eyes.
No,
it wasn't really about what I was
But
wearing.
let's
you
call
look
a spade a
tired.
spade.
Sure,
You
I was
don't.
tired.
You take shitty fucking care of yourself.
I don't think
you-
I take shitty care of myself.
I do. based on fucking.
Well, no, I know you do. I know you think that. I already know that.
You take shitty care of yourself? Wait, what are we saying? You think he takes shitty care of himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what? You think I take shitty care of myself?
No.
No, that's what I thought you were saying.
I know that he thinks that way about me.
Okay, this is like a who's on first.
I don't think you take good. I don't think you take good care of yourself.
Okay.
That's fine.
That's
But that
my
means
opinion.
a lot. That means a lot of things.
Yes.
Like
sure,
you
it
don't get
means
enough
some
sleep.
things.
You don't do enough stuff for yourself in a selfish kind of way because you're always taking care of kids.
Well, that's not
and
how
stuff.
it's taken, though.
I
When
think-
somebody says that, it's taken, you fucking do nothing. You sit on the couch all day. You fucking drink all night.
No,
you smoke
that's-
cigarettes.
that's like
you fucking put your hand down your pants and you fucking smell your balls. No,
that's-
Do you do all those things?
I don't
No.
do any of those
No,
things.
Yeah, get the fuck
Oh,
out of
maybe
here.
after 10 o'clock.
No, but that's your own like psychobabble head trash.
No, it's not. That's what you look like shit is, or you take
What
care
I
of
you
just
look
said
like shit, and your friend saying to you, "I don't think you take good care of yourself." The second one is like nobody says that to you if they're not like concerned about like like and in that way. Like there's no like I gain nothing from like making fun of you in that in that realm. No shit. I'm only saying it because I think you should take better care of yourself.
What I said is what I mean. Like when I think you don't look well, that's my
So
assumption.
you think I'm sick?
No, my assumption is that you don't have, you're doing too many other different things to have the time to do it. Like with your kids and all
I'm
that
telling you
shit and your
shit.
job and this job.
Right.
Yeah, but if you drop dead at fucking 57, like what was it all fucking worth anyhow?
If I don't show up at the second job, I don't have a house.
It's more of a worry.
So, I mean, what are you going to do?
I'm more worried than I am like poking fun at you.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but worried sounds like I'm sick.
I also didn't come up
That's
to you.
what worried sounds like.
Well, no, but I mean, like,
you're
if fucking
sick.
we had a doctor in the room and they had the fucking clipboard and fucking went through the checklist of
Well, where
things,
is that guy?
things that are fucking.
You don't want that guy here.
Yeah, I mean, if you just went black and white about things that you do that are not good for your health, I mean, it's fucking. I mean, what do you want?
But that's what I'm saying. I don't do many
I mean,
things
take
that are
some
bad
fucking
for my health.
ownership of your fucking life here.
Sure. No, listen. I know that I'm fucking run down and I don't get sleep. But
You
I don't
don't get
think I look like
wait.
shit. Like, I don't think that way. I'm overweight. Yes, I don't like the belly when I'm driving in my car. Bags under my eyes have been here since fucking senior year of high school.
Pack of cigarettes every day.
But I'm not even thinking of that.
All right, but what do you mean you can't? You can't
has
not
been a part of
include.
my life for
You
25
can't not
years.
include that. And then how many fucking beers are we
It's like
drinking?
having a brother.
How many
I
beers are
can't
we
get
drinking a
rid of
night?
I'm not drinking every night. I rarely drink Monday through Friday. Monday through Thursday.
Well, that's new.
You said Thursday, then he went to Friday, and he came back.
That's
Thursday.
new. That's new.
it's not that new.
you're trying
Everybody
something.
just thinks that I drink a lot. I don't.
No, but you have said yourself. Not everybody thinks it. You have said on multiple occasions that you go home at the end of the day and you have a few beers every day.
No, that's not an everyday. That's not an everyday thing.
All right, but the moral of the story is once again, if we had Johnny fucking Medico over here, who's a completely neutral character in the plot, and they was just running the list of the things, they'd be like, yes, you're fucking doing a ton of unhealthy shit that's not good for you,
I think smoking cigarettes and not getting sleep are the unhealthy things.
and not eating well.
I mean, I don't think I eat horribly. I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I think it starts with the sleeping and the cigarettes.
Probably.
You know,
That'd be a good place to start.
like the sleep. Why do we keep doing this?
I don't know. It's always on me.
You're the one who came. I totally forgot.
Well, I
about-
mean, someone came up to me and told me I look like shit. That I don't fucking talk to.
and I
It was a rarity.
totally forgot about
It's a
that.
real rarity. Of course you were. You were drunk. That's why you forgot about it.
But when you said it, then I remembered you saying it to me. I'm not telling you now. I'm telling you on Tuesday.
I just I've had conversations recently about like people going up to women and saying you look tired.
Who
That's
does
not
that?
a nice thing to say to anybody in any situation whatsoever.
Yeah, but I feel like that's so highly contextual. It's like it depends on like.
I think that's like asking age.
No, but it's ridiculous. It all depends on who the person is to you. Like me saying that to you or you saying that to me, I feel like is completely normal because we know each other on a deep level
Yeah,
and we spend a
but
lot
saying
of
it like
time with each other.
15 times in
if
like
you
a
are
month.
talking to a random girl Or like,
Yeah, well, no.
and you say, hey, you look tired. But if somebody that I know well, and I really do think they look tired, I think it's a normal thing to say.
To a female?
Yes.
That's not being received well, no matter how well you know them or not.
Yeah, that's not being received well. And also, I think it's contextual on when you're saying it. If you're saying it and you're, you know, in your 18th hour at work, you look tired, it's time to go home or whatever, that's different. But if you're saying it on a fucking Saturday night when you're actually in relaxed mode, I think that's different as
but
well.
once again, I think it has to do with who the girl is, what your relationship to her is, and, you know, all that. And if you're in relationships with people where you can't fucking tell them the truth, it's probably not a good fucking relationship.
I just don't think it. I don't know. I probably have said it to somebody, I'm sure. Definitely not a girl. I haven't told a girl that she looks tired or pregnant.
Ever?
I've thought it. She might be pregos.
Yeah, but you can't say to a girl you look pregnant who don't know if she's pregnant.
I know.
That's a dangerous one.
That's a super
It
dangerous.
just might be fucking too many Oreos, you know?
I don't really see a lot of pregnant people in my day.
No. I think they hide it for 6 months. So you're really only seeing it for the last blast.
Yeah. You mean when they pop?
When they're ready to go.
Doesn't it
The
like
baby's cooked.
I don't know. I guess I'm not really seeing many people out there in the world, but like I don't really come across a lot of pregnant women.
I guess
No,
I
I
don't
agree.
really either, I guess.
I don't come across a lot
Maybe
of
I
women.
Probably better off.
Probably. a lot of men.
Well, you came across one on Saturday night. You said you look
One
like
came
shit.
across me. I was like a bull. It was like,
How many
ready to
people do you
come
think
at
were
me.
here on Saturday night?
30s.
30s? Mm-hmm. Really?
I think
it was
so.
more than that.
I think it was high 30s.
Yeah.
a couple kitchen gatherers for a while.
Oh my god,
That was
what
interesting.
the fuck was that?
Not a good kitchen to hang out
The
in.
awful, but that's what I was saying back there was that like I feel like I remember parties growing up and people would congregate in the worst possible area ever.
A kitchen is like pretty normal place to congregate.
but
Yeah,
not
a
this
fucking
kind of a
office kitchen
An office kitchen. They had
with the
4
roaches
couches over here. To
with
sit
the
on.
roaches.
They had 4 couches to sit on, and they didn't do it.
2 garbage pails, a fucking sink, and
It's true.
you know, a
2
water
bathrooms.
machine.
And 2
It's not
bathrooms.
that's not the hot spot.
It went down pretty good, man. I'm proud of Aaron and Rob, man. They did a really fucking great job.
Dude, he's funny to watch. Aaron is funny to watch. Walk around. By the way, John, you weren't here. They did the talk show.
I saw. I saw.
Yo, that was rough, man, because 5 minutes before that happened,
5 minutes.
Fucking
during the beginning of it.
no, but I went and smoked a joint.
I know.
Me, Tony, Disneja, however you say that. And
I know. It looked it from all of you.
and TJ, and fucking we were high as fuck. And then I walk into and then Josie's like, dude, you got to get on the fucking stage. They're waiting for you. I'm like, what? What are you fucking talking about?
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Ah, that's hilarious. He got you up there really quick.
Yeah.
That was funny. She walked across the stage like zombie.
Yeah.
She was stoned out of her head.
I
was
talked to
funny.
her the other day, and she was like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean? I got to go up there and talk. Wow.
And it lasted like 40 minutes, John.
When he told me that, like when I was like, so like, because I was not involved whatsoever. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
I just showed up, and I said, so like, what's happening here? He's like, well, we're gonna show the movie at whatever he said, 7:30, and then there'll be a performance, and then I'm gonna promptly at 11 o'clock, I'm gonna drag everybody up on stage and do an interview. And I'm like, Aaron, there's gonna be nobody here. What are you talking about? Like we got here at 6:30.
Right. Do it
Yeah,
now.
there wasn't. I mean, there was people, but it was not enough people. But like I felt 2 ways about it. I felt one like where I don't want to fucking do this, and then the other way I was like, but this guy's super fucking passionate about this,
Right.
and he cares, and this is what it takes. You gotta fucking you gotta find your opportunity to talk your shit about your shit when you can, and
Yeah.
I graciously exchanged my spot
Acquiesced?
with the kid. Yeah, I sat in for a few minutes and then I exchanged my spot with the kid Charlie because he was foaming at the bit.
Oh, he
He was
was
foaming
itching-
at the bit to be up
Itching to
there.
get up there.
So I would gladly gave him my chair and scooted on off to the fucking sidelines.
Yeah, no, it was a good move. I was very surprised that you went up there because I saw you walk in the door. You guys were like, why is everybody on stage?
I mean, the whole that setup I think is cool, but like why are you dragging it out till the end of the night? Like, do that.
Right, do
Just
it- do it after the music.
You know, while everybody's
Should have
up.
did it right after the
Yeah,
music.
yeah, yeah.
Should have did.
Yeah.
Probably because he was nervous. You saw him walking
Yeah.
around nervous, trying to get people because he probably didn't ask anybody to do it.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So he dragged it to try and feel better about himself.
I was nervous when we played the first song. I was super fucking nervous. And it didn't really hit me until right when I went up there. I was trying to tune my guitar, and for some reason my guitar was not, my tuner wasn't cooperating, and fucking it just threw me into a fucking tiz. So the first tune was a little, I was tight as fuck.
What did you think of the musical performance?
I wish I saw it.
Oh,
I saw a couple clips of it.
what was your whole like getting there at that time you got there? What was the thought behind that?
All right, so he said it was going to start at 7:30. I knew the movie was a short, obviously, so I was thinking, 7:45.
Seen the movie already?
Seen the movie already. I would have liked to have seen it, but the last game
I never saw it with I didn't realize this until that night.
with the music.
No, I never saw it with the fucking
What are those things?
The fucking throat loogies?
the news footage.
Oh, with the
Oh,
footage in the
yeah,
back. Yeah, I've seen all that.
I never
too.
saw that.
Yeah. It makes it look amazing.
Yeah.
Right. But my last game was at 6:40 in Freeport. Right. There were 20 running time games, so I'm like, all right, I'll get out of there at like 7. Of course, they go, oh, there's an award ceremony right outside.
Oh, you told me. Yeah.
So we went out there, froze our butt off for like 10 minutes, knew we weren't going to win anything. And then I had to run home, drop the kids. So I was like, stupid me was thinking there was going to be a break, but it was actually very smart to go right from the movie to the music.
Right.
Without like that much of it. I thought there was going to be a break at
Some
that point.
downtime.
It was like a 15-minute break.
Yeah, but I was, in my head, I was thinking more, and I also thought he was probably going to play longer, but it made sense. 4 or 5 songs, all the songs from the movie, right?
Just one.
Oh, just one from the movie?
Just Emperor.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing the box and all that shit too.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was cool.
But yeah, I really thought it was going to be like 8:30, and I was going to walk in on song 1 or 2. That was in my
Did
head.
it sound like the sound coming out to the people? It sounded good.
Yeah,
Like
it sounded great.
Vocals were clear.
Yeah.
Can you hear
It
the
was good.
sound coming out of my mouth? It sounded even good on the clips that people put out.
Yeah, it was good. Sounded good.
So
It's
yeah,
cool.
I would have loved to see it. But I hear it every Thursday night. I get a home cooked meal over here.
Background music.
How is it playing to tracks? Like somebody like, what's his face rapping?
Alex.
Yeah. Like how
it's convenient.
it's not hard at all in any way, like, or it's easier because you know exactly the way it's gonna go, and
Yeah, it's easier.
Right.
It's easier. It's convenient. It's very convenient. Now, like you give up a little bit of energy,
sure.
because of it. But there are ways to mix live instrumentation with it to bring the energy up, which is kind of what we're doing.
And you also have Rob doing this, right?
That's his go-to. He reminds me of like some sort of a house bird. Right?
Yes,
Like
that's a
Jimmy
bird move.
Grimes had
a
Rob
Disney
growing
parrot.
up.
That's definitely a bird move.
Jimmy Grimes used to have a bird, and that's exactly it was Rob.
That's how birds dance. It's crazy.
Yep.
That's unbelievable.
Spectrum Shuffle.
His bird's name was Elliot.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was cool.
So yeah, that is cool. I like hearing your music, Jesse. I don't put it down.
Why would you put it down?
I wouldn't put it down.
Are you comparing that to me saying you don't take care of yourself? Because that is not a fucking valid
I'm
comparison.
just gonna keep on making comparisons. I don't care if they make sense or not.
I think you should just start taking care of yourself and stop.
Take care of myself. Give me a couple more hours in the day.
I want
right.
to get you a DEXA scan
I know you said that last episode. Thanks.
because I want to help you.
Yeah, but he
Stop.
doesn't want to help.
You're making it like I'm a fucking hooker in lipsticks that you want to fucking rescue. Like, stop doing that.
No,
I just need time.
it's not that fucking dramatic.
Well,
It's not Pretty Woman,
Well, make it pretty.
No, like we did the cold plunge thing. We got to get fucking Jackie back in here next week because we got to get this hot yoga
To
thing.
yell at me too.
We got to get this hot yoga
I'll do
thing.
hot yoga. Jesse's got to do it too, though.
Yeah, we get
Tired of this shit.
We're on it. We got to beat
This guy's sweating.
We got a little thing on it. We got to get a whole crew because we got to rent the whole place. Who else would be funny?
Do you have to rent it? You have to rent the
TJ
whole
Lynch.
TJ?
He'll come.
place? TJ would be funny.
Maybe that's a good one.
Definitely.
We get some.
Get some weirds.
Guys on the fly. Yeah, get people. Get some peeps. I don't know people.
Yeah, we got it. We're on it.
We can recruit.
We got the
anybody
spot. They gave me the email address. I gave it to her. I think she's following up with them. And that's it.
Ash?
No, they said no.
They just said straight up no?
Because I was talking to someone last night about this whole thing that we're trying to do
I kind of know her.
with the going
kinda, or I
places.
did.
And people think you're making fun of them.
Oh.
You know, which I can see.
Yeah, totally.
I can see that. You
always
know, like
easier
you're
to poke fun.
minimizing what they do for like comedy and stuff like that.
No, we're going to be
And
making
those
fun of
people
ourselves.
don't really want to, you know, if you're going to be a fucking tight ass, fine. You
My
know?
quick technical question is, how are these cameras going to be in that? I don't think we could do that.
No, we'll use the iPhone like we did at the cold plunge.
Okay.
And that's what we like. I think it would be funny to have Rob doing the yoga, but he's the only fucking person who could record.
Right.
You know? So
Yeah, Rob doing the yoga would be hilarious.
so I think we
I
just
would see so much ass.
How many people do we need?
I think like 10, 15, something like that.
Okay.
But back to my point is that like you did the cold plunge, you were afraid, you kind of liked it. You know, like let's just keep stacking habits now.
Yeah, time is the thing is I don't have time to go do a cold plunge to make myself feel
I
better.
understand that.
That's the problem.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once we get a couple of sponsors, you can have more time. You'll be fine.
I'd love to get healthy. I just don't have the time to get healthy. Which
Do you
sounds
though? Like,
horrible. It's
would
just
you
like,
love to get healthy or no?
Yeah, what do you think? I want to be fat, lazy, and fucking gross? Like, what do you think?
I think the moment you start to think about this, it's like, no, I can't think about this. Got to keep going that way. I think that's what happens.
Like,
do
if
you
you
mean?
had more time, right? Because I know time is a big thing for you.
Yeah. I have
If you had
zero.
more time, would you fill that time with things that would make you healthy?
It would fill it with going to the gym
Okay.
every day.
All right.
yeah, but so if you, once again, like, you know,
Playing basketball on Friday
We're
night
gonna
with
put,
the other
like, you
coaches.
know,
That'd be nice.
we're going to put the coach here, you
I
know,
want to do that.
we're going to David Goggins, you know what I mean? Like, or whoever, you know, pick your guy. You know, experts on fucking getting your shit together.
Richard Simmons, he alive
whoever,
still?
whichever one you want, right? That guy or gal would be like, you know what you got to do? You got to go march over to your fucking wife, who fucking jogs all the time and takes care of herself, and say, listen, if you don't want me to be fucking dead in the next 10 to 12 years or fucking, you know, on the
She
fucking...
wants me to do it.
Yeah.
She wants me to do it.
So then it's even worse. Then it's even less than what you're saying. Because, like, you know, everybody says, like, you either make the time to get healthy or you make the time to take care of yourself when you get sick.
Jesse, my
It's
left eye is twitching because I don't sleep.
Because you don't take care of yourself.
No.
Because you don't sleep.
No.
Because you don't sleep.
I coach 2 teams. I'm not going to go over the list of everything that
Well,
I
so
do.
then give up some of those
It's
things.
so hard.
Well,
Will
you have
Jen
to.
come do hot yoga with us? Maybe
She probably would.
that would be funny.
She probably
If she
would.
had to watch you.
Ultimately, you got to make choices, and you can't do everything. And if you're choosing to neglect
Then
your
you're taking
own,
bonding away from me and my child.
yeah, but that's all. If you're really going to take bonding away from
When
your
I
child,
die?
when you die early.
Fuck everybody.
And then your kid's gonna be like, "Oh, great! At least I played 16 fucking sports when I was fucking
You try
9."
and fucking do something. You try and go on the right path.
No,
and
but
do
you're
that
not.
stuff.
You're not on the right path. You think you're on the right path, but you're not.
I am.
And I feel confident in saying that.
I don't know. I don't know. I have to beg to differ because of the amount of stuff that I do.
Yeah, I think you're doing too many things, and not enough of those things are things that are good for you. Now, I'm not saying.
No, half of it, most of it, 79, 80% of it is work.
And I think the longer you stay on that train, the
of
more
course.
expensive the return trip is.
Well, of course. I mean, it completely makes sense. But in the spot that I'm at right now, there's nothing I can do about it because
disagree
I'm
with you.
grounding every fucking
How many sports
month.
does each kid play?
He's only in 2 right now.
It's a lot.
It's because they're overlapping. It's not a lot. 2 is not a lot.
What about the daughters?
2
no
of them are in
sports?
dance. One of them's in nothing.
Wow. What's up with that one that's in nothing?
She's
Too young?
Yeah, well, no, she's not too young. She just
Yeah,
don't
but
wanna
see,
do shit.
like I see it differently.
She
Like
doesn't want to be in front of the spotlight.
and I've had this conversation with a lot of people. Like, you know, you grew up in like super American fucking sports household. Your brothers, your father, like you guys.
But that's
what
not
I'm saying.
what it's about.
Yeah, but what this is my personal opinion, and I've had this conversation with many people. I think that what people our age are doing with their kids, like creating this scenario to where like multiple sports, constantly driving to and from, constantly making sure that they're always busy, always entertained.
And I understand that.
I think is bad for them and it's bad for us.
Completely
And
understand
I think that most people that are our age are making this mistake willingly and wide-eyed, and they're doing it under the banner of, I'm making this sacrifice for my kids. When in real, I actually just heard Tim Ferriss did an interview with this crazy guy who's like completely like, anarchy parenting style, which I think he's crazy. But they were talking about it, and the guy said something really interesting. He was like, the percentage of children that are ever going to like
Collegiate sports.
Yeah, like other than like, all right, so what's the point of sports in school, right? It's so they have some fun, they get some exercise, and they do something, right? But then
communication, teamwork.
But then you narrow it down to the amount of kids who that's the right thing for them to do individually, and then you narrow it down even further, the amount of kids that are gonna anything ever beyond the public school system or
I agree with all
K through 12. And then he's like, now add back in the psycho fucking parents that are putting all this pressure and creating all of this time spent. The guy was like, I think that's a tremendous amount of time wasted for most kids. Not all, but for most kids.
Sure.
Like you take a kid who really is not, I don't want to say cut out for it, but doesn't really have the
ability.
It's not gonna serve him in his life.
Right.
And it's like, but that kid's dad loves this shit, and the kid does it to please the dad, and he does it for 9 years. This guy was like, that's a wasted 9 years to where you could have found something.
Think about the people that pay the extra money and do club sports, because club sports are now taking place of high school sports.
Exactly.
Everybody's high school teams suck now.
My kid's in fucking club soccer. It's travel, and
That's different. Your kid's in travel soccer. That's different.
I'm going with it because he seems to like it, but it's completely beyond. But I wouldn't even fucking think for a second to put him in something else. At the same time,
until he comes home and says, I really want to try baseball.
And I would say, okay, then you have to stop doing soccer, and then you got to exchange it for baseball.
I don't think you would do that if he said, I want to do jiu-jitsu.
No, I'm telling you right now, I would say you're going to have to exchange one for the other, because coming from a person who does too many fucking things and all of the trouble that it causes and all that kind of stuff, I'm not gonna give them the keys to that car right now to make a mistake.
I don't agree with that. I think they need to learn how to use multiple parts of their body and have agility.
Yeah, but everything in seasons, everything in like within reason, everything sustainable, not like.
Well, yeah, I mean,
this
was a one-off tournament. It's not like he's.
No, but you're not the only person. Everybody I know does this.
A lot, yes.
Multiple
sports,
of
people do it.
2 sports, 3 sports. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every single day of the week, multiple play. They don't get home till 10 o'clock at night. Like, get out of here.
It also, again, depends on how many kids you got.
It's not good for you.
It also depends on how many kids you have. So you can't have a kid doing nothing if that one wants to play something. So now you're traveling around 3 kids. Then what about the school play?
No.
They're doing a school play.
I'm not saying it's not challenging, and I'm not saying it's not hard.
Right,
but we're making it way harder than it has to be under the guise of...
I guess so, but I'm also under the belief that if a kid wants to try something, let him try something. Let them see if that's something.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question, right? If when you go out to get your kid fucking ice cream, and he says, or she says, I want all 4 of those fucking cones because I want to try them all. Do you let them do that?
Not the same thing.
That's
I think it's the same thing.
No, it's not though, because then you're grossing 4 things all together
But
at once.
sports come in seasons.
Yes, and I get that, and I understand that. Sometimes they're
like play something in the winter, play something in the spring.
And that's really what he does. But some of them overlap in times of February and March, and then like June or whatever. There's times where they overlap, but we are not. I mean, dance is all fucking year because that's dance. That's what they do. It's every fucking Friday. It's every fucking Tuesday. And
I also think it has a lot to do with like if the kids love it, then you do everything you can to support it.
I'm never ever. I told somebody about my basketball team. I got kids on my basketball team that literally, if they were my kids, I would have went up to the coach and I said, I'm really sorry for what you just saw. I'm going to try again next year with these guys and do a little bit of work at home because they're that bad. I can't watch that. When my son played baseball and he got hit by a ball, the kid was backing out of the batter's box. And I told him to his face, I said, listen, if you can't do this, nobody's going to watch you play this game because you got to get up to bat, right? They're not going to not have you bat. Not watching you not play the game at least some sort of correctly. You got to resemble the game that you're playing. You can't just, like if my kid's the one in right field fucking laying down, it's not going to happen. I can't do that.
I think the thing you know, obviously you got to be a parent and like it can't be 4 things at once and all that shit. And I would agree with that. But here's the thing: if they raise their hand and say, "I'm interested in this, I want to do it," you have to like teach them that there's cost to it.
Yes,
it's a commitment.
100%.
And the number one thing, I don't care about anything else, no fucking quitting.
No, I
quitting.
agree with that.
As soon as you start,
quitting.
you're in it, bro.
I agree with
You're
that.
You know?
100%.
And that's, I think, the most important.
100%.
You know?
I agree.
My
with that.
daughter with the play for 3 weeks, dude. I don't want to do it. I'm embarrassed. Blah blah blah. Listen, you've been doing it for 3 months. You have a part. You have to go.
Yeah.
You have to go and do it. You know, like that's
it is hard.
That's
having
super important.
Multiple kids and shuffling them back.
What if you
Like-
get kicked off the team though because the coach thinks you're terrible at the sport?
Yeah, but nowadays that doesn't happen.
Yeah, nobody.
The only way you get kicked off the team is if you're a menace to society.
No, but what you said earlier is 100% right. All these parents, you know, club baseball all year round, club lacrosse, club soccer all year round. They all think they're going to be fucking USA stars. I don't know what the parents.
I mean,
are
I think
thinking.
there's a small percentage of kids that's really good
Yes.
for.
Yes.
And I commend those parents for investing the time, energy, and money into that kid.
It's like the gymnastic parent.
because that's the right thing for that kid.
Right.
But I think what's more important is like, yes, letting your kid try some different stuff, but trying to figure out what really fucking lights them up.
Yeah.
And then invest in that.
Because sometimes it's not. The kids could be also saying that they like it, but they really
I think a
don't like
lot
it.
of
You know what
times
I
the
mean?
kids,
It's
they
like-
want to please us.
Right.
They want to
Yes.
please us. So they do things because they think it's what they want, you know, what we want them to do.
So why does my daughter still dance? Because we blatantly say we hate it.
Well, then
she likes it.
Yeah, but
She
but
loves
then
it.
there's
She loves
then sometimes the kids fucking they do it because of that.
Dude,
because you
fucking
hate it and they
Super
want to
Bowl,
prove
bro.
you wrong.
Super Bowl. They have a goddamn dance competition during the Super Bowl.
During?
Isn't it crazy?
No, not during.
No, she's at 10, but the thing goes till 9:30 at night.
Wow.
Get the fuck
That's
out.
crazy.
That's balls.
That's balls.
That's
right?
crazy.
That's
But
like
I think
happening
that there's a
during
happy
Thanksgiving.
medium somewhere there because like the alternative is you fucking like if they don't show interest in doing something that is like an athletic activity, what's the alternative? You got fucking kids sitting home that are monsters playing video games all day, fucking sucking on Feastables and you know Mountain Dews and fucking Baja Blasts.
But yet,
And it's like that. I feel like there's got to be some sort of a healthy push into you got to do something.
yeah, my thing with my kids is
agree.
like I like video games. I got them into video games. They love video games, but there's got to be a balance of physical activity. You want to play video games, you can play video games, but you also have to do something physical. And whatever that physical thing is, it doesn't matter. I got to get the older guy back because fucking Amityville shit the bed on the fucking club wrestling. They fucking didn't do it this season. So
Really?
I got to get him. Yeah, the guy never answered me.
You should coach it.
Coach it.
Coach the Amityville Club Wrestling.
Did you wrestle?
I thought but I thought about doing like a kids grappling club here at fucking Danger Room, but I don't know if I can do that.
That seems not good, not smart.
Insurance. Insurance
No,
wise.
not from that perspective. We have insurance. It's just from the can I add one more thing to my fucking probably can't.
Kurt's getting a lot less exercise now with these new cameras, also. So it's
Yeah,
just
don't have to
another
get up and get down. Another thing.
stagnation. You know,
You're right. Get
maybe
those
we should
old
go
ones
back to the old ones. Look like shit.
so I can get up and get down. I look like
Get up
ass.
and get down. Yeah.
Well, you know.
Fuck kids. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
You
fucking.
and your wife ever like sit around and be like, fucking guys with kids. Awful.
Sometimes I'll have like a little. We went to my niece's. What do they call that? The fucking dance recital. Actually, that's exactly what it
Recital.
was. And like sometimes I'll get like this is weird. Like I'll never get to experience this, and like the parents are fucking crying and shit.
Right.
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm all right. I'm okay. And then I was listening to Kevin's podcast, and the other guy, what was his name?
Nick?
What's that kid's name? Nick. Yeah, he was talking about how his kid like had the first like vomiting session he's ever had, and he was like just in the middle of the room spinning around vomiting.
It's the worst.
And then like he had it on his hands, and he was rubbing it in his eyes and shit. And I'm like, you know what? The feeling at the dance recital, I'll be all right.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you listen to what he sent over about Kevin talking about the end of the lunchroom?
Yeah. I thought it was it was applicable.
I listened to it and I texted him. He didn't answer me.
No.
But I texted him and
I don't think he has the same number because I said that his new show is way better than his last show, and he didn't even fucking say anything.
Well, maybe he cut us all off.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
But I texted him and I said, I appreciate you not talking shit.
Yeah.
And I said that, looking back on it all, I think, a lot of the moves that I made were based on inexperience and fucking fear. You know what I mean? It's all good, and I'm happy that you're doing good and the whole bit.
Yeah, the new show is much better.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Better than the thing Good Talk?
Good talk. Yeah.
I think they're still going to do that.
I think so too, but I haven't seen that in a while, and I really couldn't watch it. It was for me. No,
It felt like that
watchable.
show was more for like the YouTube crowd,
Okay.
and this one is more like the audio
Yeah,
version.
yeah,
of it.
yeah.
But I also this week I struggled because the move now is that and I get it, you got to make money and all that shit, but like they don't have the whole thing on Spotify anymore. You can only listen to the first half of it,
Already going
and
to
then
Patreon
the
and shit.
rest of it goes to Patreon. So, which is smart, but
If you got the audience to do that, yeah, sure.
I just that whole Patreon thing. It's like I don't need another universe of ways in which I need to consume my media.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like I wish there was a way that I could, contribute on the Spotify side. Like I don't need another app.
I thought Patreon was mainly made so you could kind of do and say whatever you want.
I don't know. I think it's
That's what I thought it
It's so
was.
that you can monetize your audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I never knew that the fucking guy who created fucking Patreon is the fucking guy Jack Conte from the music. I had no idea.
What music?
You ever hear of Scary Lips?
I thought it was Scary Pockets.
Scary Pockets, yeah, Scary Lips.
think so.
Scary Pockets, and then
Hate
he's
a
also
pair of
part
Scary
of,
Lips.
It's a weird name.
He's also part of like the Wolfpack crew. Like he's a serious musician was a musician forever, and like they made videos and stuff.
And then he came upon.
No, but he also was the Patreon guy, and I guess he used the money that he made from Patreon to fucking build up the other shit. But I never knew that until I knew it. Cool.
Patreon. It sounds like a real devilish thing, right? Patreon.
Yeah, feels like it started
the
with like
angel, like
Trump 4 years ago. Patreon.
Should we start a Patreon?
Or like not a cult, but like that Q fucking thing.
QAnon?
QAnon.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like it's a QAnon.
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 It's funny how I didn't really. It's because I don't think about it, and I don't really fucking. It's just so far from me. But it's funny how many people are like really losing their shit over the Trump thing.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, again, that's what you're seeing is the people who are losing their shit. There's also people who are like, he's fucking doing exactly what we voted for. He's doing exactly what we wanted. He's doing exactly
It's
what he
just
said he
so.
was
It's
gonna
just
do.
so interesting to me to see how off center people get on either side. I'm not.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know how
not.
that surprises you anymore. I feel like this is how it's been.
It's always
just
been
so
super surprising to me.
saturated.
I just don't understand it. I don't understand anybody who gets so bent out of shape
Yeah, they have
about
the time to
anything
do
that,
that. I
you
don't have
can't
the time to
really
work out.
control. You
I
know
think
what
it's so funny.
Yeah, I think
Both
a lot
sides
of
is
it's
just
Yeah.
so funny to me. And like, I saw Ryan LaFleur's wife, Danielle. It was 5 days after the inauguration, and this woman is one of the funniest. She's actually friends with TJ. One of the funniest women on the face of the planet. And she was like, she's a huge Trump supporter. So it was like Friday night after he got inaugurated, 5 days later, and she's like, he's doing such a good job.
Such
right?
a good job.
And I'm like, Danielle, it's been 5 days. She's like, what, you don't think?
Sounds like my parents.
Fucking
Sounds
hysterical.
exactly like my parents.
So funny. So funny. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. The whole thing.
It's such a
Yeah.
big, like, it's so divided.
I think it's
so divided.
I'm going to draw a parallel here, and you're probably not going to like it, but like the same way you get when we start talking about your appearance and your health and all that kind of stuff, and like you just want to block it out. I think that's how people who get really fucking fired up and offended by politics. I think there's a level of like, there's this version of like everything that they believe in or all the things that they thought are the way things are supposed to be. The other side attacks that. So it's like a defense of like
when you hear something
their version of the world.
When you hear something a lot, like you got to stop smoking cigarettes, right? And I know that I have to, but it's an addiction, okay?
Yeah.
It's not like I haven't fucking talked to my mental self multiple times. And do I get heated when people bring it up? My family, my wife,
Well,
you,
I think it's
yes,
the same thing.
I do.
I think it's the same thing with what I'm talking about. It's like addiction might not be the word, but it's like an addiction to this version of what you think life is supposed to be, and it's a fear of like the possibility of like I've gone, we're in our 40s, right? So I've gone 40 something years of my life looking at things this way, and having to entertain that some of this might be true or not true is like frightening. Is like, oh my God, there's nothing scarier than like what I thought was supposed to be what is not.
I don't know
What the fuck are you talking about?
You understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
like years ago, I had this woman who worked for us. She was a bookkeeper, and she was super. This was like during the first Trump run, or like when he was running or whatever.
Are you comparing?
Are we talking about Kurt now? What are we talking
me?
about? Are you on drugs right now?
No, I mean I am drugs.
Are you comparing political love to me and cigarettes and health?
No, what I'm comparing is that like being afraid of something and that being the reason why you fucking, people are attacking you about fucking cigarettes, and like that fucking smoking cigarettes every day is killing you fucking, you know what I mean? And like so but it's like so much easier to reject and run away from the topic rather than having to face the thing that you don't really want to face.
But I think I face it more than people realize I face it. It's just very difficult, and I'm not winning. I don't think it's fuck everybody when I'm by myself. I'm just gonna fucking smoke. So
so maybe
maybe that
in your
makes me
particular,
feel good.
what I'm trying to
it's
say,
when I smoke in my garage and it's 7 degrees and I curse myself out because I'm smoking a cigarette, or that one night where I'm sitting on the couch and I usually go out for a cigarette and I go, you know what? I'm not doing it tonight. And maybe tomorrow morning I'll start off the day and I won't smoke a cigarette. But fucking 10:30 rolls around the next day and somebody pisses me off and I run outside and I have a fucking cigarette because it calms me down. It gives me my fucking peace. And I lose again. And that's a running cycle that goes.
Well, there's that woman Mel Robbins?
yes,
Who?
Mel Robbins.
blonde lady with glasses.
Yeah, she's like a huge like self-help woman. No. She just wrote a book called Let Them. Actually, Megan read it, I know. But there's like a whole framework she has for dealing with this exact situation. And it's more like how you should deal with things with your kids when it's like, then there's some sort of like acronym for it.
Quick reaction.
And the first part of it is like, instead of doing what we're doing to you all the time, saying like, I'm sure it's real hard to quit smoking cigarettes, and I never really thought about that. And I apologize for coming after you for so many times, And then it's like you step back and you don't bring it up for a little while.
Right.
Because it's like, yeah, finally someone realizes how hard it is, And then like 2 months later, you'll be like, have you ever thought what it would be like to not smoke cigarettes? Like what that would feel like, And then you start like coming back in a little bit and said like, this is how you should deal with things like this, instead of saying you shouldn't, you can't, don't do this,
like father to
don't
son.
do that,
It's the same
It's like,
thing.
of course,
Right.
The person who's fat doesn't want to be fat. And of course, the person who smokes cigarettes doesn't want to smoke cigarettes. But now there's this, you can't keep coming for these people in that way. Maybe I'm going to start trying that on you.
It could work.
Yeah.
Well, it's all coping mechanisms.
Yeah, it's also horrible willpower, but it's also coping mechanism.
I think it's coping. It's nothing to do with willpower. It's like there's some version of you that is not able to process stress.
No, but
in certain moments.
Well, I deal with stress in the wrong way.
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
What I
Like
do.
you, like in all of these scenarios, like in any kind of addiction, all sorts of shit. Like the whole thing is like something triggers you, and that trigger is, made up of your entire fucking life, all the things that have happened to you. And me and Nick talk about this shit all the time. You know what I mean? And there's all sorts of reasons of why whatever that thing that triggers you, you're not able to handle it. And in the perfect world, you get triggered and you're able to fucking stop, breathe, realize that an emotional response is just something that fucking goes up and down like a wave. Eventually the wave will fucking break out, and then you can go back to what you're doing. That's like the perfect scenario that doesn't exist for anybody. But what people do is they fucking move to grab the food, to grab the cigarette, to have sex, to drink,
just to
to
stop.
fucking whatever it is, just to not feel that uncomfortable thing. And that's like everybody is dealing with that same thing,
just in a
but
different way.
with different trigger points.
100%.
Yeah, and the point of this is that like in that moment, all of the people saying you shouldn't smoke, it's another thing, or you shouldn't drink, or you shouldn't, do whatever. It's like, you know what? Those people are right. That is who I am. I'm not this other person. And that makes it so much easier for you to do it. Like this is who I really am. I'm not a person that doesn't smoke, or I'm not a person that's healthy,
Yeah.
And then that's that, it's like whether you subconsciously realize it or not, by people saying you shouldn't and don't do this, all that stuff in those moments, They were like, they're right. I shouldn't. I'm terrible. And it fucking makes it even worse than what the actual situation or thing that triggered that happened is.
Right. Especially when you go out for your first one after that.
Yes.
All of this shit is about the relationship that you have with yourself. Like, so
Yeah,
all of the shit that
very
you're
much.
talking about how, like, I don't have time, you know what I mean? You put everything else in front of, it all comes down to, like, you know, and I mean, I can relate to this incredibly much, like, you terrible relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
And I think
get
the
it.
happiest people out there are the people that are at peace with themselves. That are like,
Definitely.
I really am doing the best I can. I don't really know what to fucking say, and I'm good with that.
Well, you also gotta like
But that's not very fucking hard. to
Good
achieve.
enough.
Well, you
I'm
also-
smart enough.
Yes.
And doggone it,
Yes.
people like me.
Yes. Yes.
well, there's also too like
Stuart Smiley.
you like believe your own bullshit also too.
What do you mean?
Like there's a kid who follows us who messages me all the time, right? And he's like been messaging me about some of the stuff that I've been putting out there and like how it's like, you know, he feels inspired to like change the way he is, right? I get that pretty often from multiple people, and which feels good. But like he
haven't
wrote me,
texted you that yet.
He wrote me. Maybe you should. He wrote this long paragraph about the situation that he's in, you know,
Right.
and all the things that are against him, and like. But I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it as like, you realize you have this problem and you're doing something about it. You know, you realize you've had this other problem and you're doing something about it. Sure, it might not be solved at the moment, but you're doing the right things.
And you can't solve everything at once.
100%.
Right.
And it's like, you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
like give yourself some fucking, you know, you gotta be okay with yourself in that way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you're doing the best you can and that's great, you know?
Like, I went for, I don't know, I think my dad was joking. I'm pretty sure he was, but he's just been starting to listen to us, right? I love you, Dad. And and I don't
Fuck
know.
you.
I don't know if I put something.
wait.
I don't know if I put something in my drink, maybe the lemon juice or something like that, and I said it wasn't real lemon or something. And he totally leaned in and he was just like, just said something about you too. Didn't call me Fat Kurt, but was like, aren't you supposed to be doing something about that? Or something, you know, like something to that reference. And I looked at it, I'm like,
Takes a
you've been
village.
listening to the show.
Takes
I'm
a
like,
village.
You've been listening to the show.
Takes a village. Also,
Meaning like,
Meaning like he heard the show, he heard what you guys were talking about, he heard like what we were talking about.
was he saying that we were being mean to you? Like you could defend yourself?
No.
Or it was, are you going to lose some weight, Kurt?
Not are you going to lose some weight? You shouldn't be doing what you're doing. You know, like you should be watching out what you're putting. Or it was creamer in the coffee. That's what it was. It was creamer in the coffee. You're supposed to cut down on the creamer in your
Oh,
coffee.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like
yeah.
something
Nice.
like
Let's
Nice.
get him on the show.
Nice.
Let's get him on the show.
No, he's scared of Mr. Snats.
I was about to say also, fuck you, Coach Snats, for making me miss all those free throws. Actually, I missed the free throws and then making me fucking run around that goddamn court 900
I tried out for the
fucking
team
times.
in 8th grade. I think, or 9th grade. I think he might have cut me.
Cut you from basketball?
Yeah.
I hear from Andreessen every fucking time I hang out with the guy. Your dad cut me and kept you. I'm like, dude, I didn't play basketball for my dad. I don't know what you're talking about.
He might have been gone by then. I don't know. I don't remember.
2000. He was gone in 2000.
No, he
Oh,
was
so
my
he
he
was
was
there.
our
He was
he was my JV coach.
Okay, yes, and he cut me.
But he's been listening.
I still think it was a mistake. I was pretty good at
I
basketball.
still think it was a mistake.
So did all the
I
other
love
kids that got cut.
No, but I think it was
Basketball's a
different.
hard
I should,
sport.
you know, truthfully, is that like I should not have been a part of that team.
Oh, you probably.
I
you had
cared
the
more about
size.
working at the fucking beer distributor and like than actually playing basketball. But it was just because he was tall, you know.
Tall, big bodied. You gotta make space.
Aaron, you know, fucking gigantic fat loser, you know, like he tried out every year that I tried out.
Oh yeah.
And he would never make it and he would be so upset and I felt so bad for him.
Can't
I
believe
was
you took a
upset, but
spot.
not for that long.
Can't believe you took a spot. That's gonna be coming up soon. People getting fucking not being able to. God, I didn't want to curse today. I want to try and do a show without cursing. I don't know why.
I
Why?
curse too much.
I don't know. I just feel like it would be a good thing to be able to control.
Let's try it.
Not
I
right
curse
now.
too much, but I also kind
You
of feel
curse
like,
a lot.
I know,
Holy
I know,
moly.
I know.
You cursed. There was one sentence where you had 3 F-bombs in the same sentence, like no breath. I was like, what are we saying here? What's going on?
Last week was funny. I don't even know what happened.
I just entered it in, so I gotta
Oh,
listen
man,
to
that
it.
What was the last
that
one?
was funny. We had the Entmans guy.
What the hell's
Oh
his
yeah,
name?
yeah.
Angelo.
Angelo. I keep on forgetting his
So
name.
let me ask you something.
I want to call him Larry all the time. I don't know why.
Katie, talking about her vacations.
That sounds interesting.
Oh, you want to start now?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Want to say goodbye,
I'm good.
Ranked on me enough. All right, maybe next
Ranked.
week will be a new one.
Ranked out.